We did the rose, did the rose, did the rose, did the rose. We did the rose, did the rose, did the rose. Disappear for a while, but now I am back again, introducing a new style, them call the Ling Bang. I am a musical zen, violating the charts again. Disappear for a while, but now I am back again, introducing a new style, them call the Ling Bang. I am a musical zen, violating the charts again. Ling Bang, no matter if you're 50 or 10, Ling Bang. Big bully in a pen, Ling Bang. Rooster or hen, this one, yeah. Creme de la creme, Ling Bang. No matter if you're 50 or 10, Ling Bang. Big bully in a pen, Ling Bang. Rooster or hen, this one, yeah. Creme de la creme. First, make you see how far your back bend. If you don't know how, get less of a current. Turn your body round like a smoothie or the blend. New dance trend. Style we no borrow, style we no lend. For sure, we no the beg no friend. From in the thing from way back when. For the elders and the children. Can't do this thing till they gonna so do it like charge. Back it up in the garage. Make them know we squad living large. Hold a salute every sarge. Disappear for a while, but now I am back again. Introducing a new style, them call the Ling Bang. I am a musical zen, violating the charts again. Disappear for a while, but now I am back again, introducing a new style, them call the Ling Bang. I am a musical zen, violating the charts again. Ling Bang, no matter if you're 50 or 10, Ling Bang. Big bully in a pen, Ling Bang. Rooster or hen, this one, yeah. Creme de la creme, Ling Bang. No matter if you're 50 or 10, Ling Bang. Big bully in a pen, Ling Bang. Rooster or hen, this one, yeah. Creme de la creme. We like when you shake it. Never gonna DR, we gon' fake it. Entire yam, heart and tick. Mama take 9 months to make it. Act like you didn't need Johnny cake before you bake it. Take a pass to the cars, then twerk it. Then your style you can't buy the new market. All of the styling bang surpass it, yo. Watch when they blaze it. Have the tremble like we don't tease it. Tell the DJ, rewind it. Bust a sweat and work it. Disappear for a while, but now I am back again. Introducing a new style, them call the Ling Bang. I am a musical zen, violating the charts again. Disappear for a while, but now I am back again. Introducing a new style, them call the Ling Bang. I am a musical zen, violating the charts again. Ling Bang, no matter if you're 50 or 10.
G-Mike.
Bing bling, Simon, what up?
I hear you, but I'm not seeing you, G-Mike.
Okay, I might see the problem with that right now. Maybe we have a small camera issue. Let's see where we are.
You know, boy, what? It looks like a...
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah, you're good now.
Yeah,
Right,
there,
right.
there it is. There it is. All right, we're on, right?
Yes,
Greetings in the name of all things good and gracious. G. Michael Reid with you on another Wednesday evening. Welcome to our weekly podcast. We do this to try to highlight, shed some light on issues, bring to forefront some of the things that are happening that you might be interested in getting other points of views. We normally have interesting guests. Tonight we might have a couple. We have to see how the availability of our people are. I spent a couple of hours with an interesting chat with our former Prime Minister, Right Honorable Said Musa, and I was hoping I could talk him into coming on for this evening. He has assured me, though, that he will grace us with his presence sometimes in the near future. So look forward to that, people. That will be an interesting show. I want to big up the producer, CY, his musical talent. Every week we tune in and we hear a few excerpts from some good songs. one day is going to break through, and you're going to hear it all over the place. He has that skill. Susan is on with us. Good evening, Susan.
Good night, Mr. G. Michael Reid.
You got it. You got it. Takes a while sometimes, right? Yeah, yeah. What state are you in, Susan?
I'm in the state of Maine.
Oh, Florida.
No, up
Uh,
north, northeast.
is Florida is near Maine? Is Maine somewhere near Florida? It's a different
No,
state
so
altogether.
right. So Maine is northeast between the Canada border and Massachusetts, and Vermont is on the west side.
Okay, on the East Coast anyway.
Yes.
Yeah, I always thought that Maine was a part of Florida, but
But
it's
A lot of Mainers go to Florida in the winter time. So a lot of them
okay.
live there and then they come here now.
But is Maine a state on
Yep.
its by itself? One of the 50 states of the U.S. No,
Mhm.
yeah. I see New York City is deluge under deluge. Lots of water, lots of rain. I saw some images of the subway being flooded,
Yeah.
and that yeah, I have vivid memories of some of that, some years of that happening. It's not going to stop the commuters, of course. Business goes on. Lennox Lam in the house. Good evening, Lennox. I got one feedback from you there where I got one. It rain outside, the rain at the hair behind you.
No, I didn't have fun. I
That
mean,
one fun.
yeah, all right.
Yeah, there you
It's
go.
gone?
Yeah, you gone, you gone. You have to get one of the filters, you know, where the professional DJs use.
Noise. Noise
No,
filter.
I have one of those, I just got it, one of those AI glasses. So I talk through that and it
Hold
probably
on,
picked
hold
up
on.
the,
You're kidding me, right?
what you
The
mean?
the mic is coming through the glasses.
Yeah, the mic, and I'm hearing you through the glasses, yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's interesting. I wasn't even aware
So
of
wait,
that.
they just put it on the next?
Yeah, just put it down on the Ray-Ban Metas and it,
And then
so
do you
everything,
see anything in the screen?
no, I'm seeing you on my computer, but if I can actually, because you guys are on Facebook, I can actually, if I put it on for seeing, then you will see what I see
Do
instead
me
of
a
just
favor. Take it off and hold it like a little distance and say something. Talk now.
can you hear me?
Yeah, I
I
can
won't be
hear
able
you
to hear you
loud
back.
and
You can
clear.
hear me, yes.
So now kind of Bluetooth microphone then, is that it?
It's
And
a it's a smart glasses, so it's
yeah, well, I mean,
Bluetooth.
he's smart. It
Yeah,
is
it's
smart
smart.
if you could do all that and tell
Yeah,
you. But it also then, what you're saying, it picks up your voice and serves as a microphone also,
yeah,
as
Mike and
an
it's a,
earpiece.
yes, sir. Yeah.
Oh, well, how do you how do you hear? Because is it something that plugs into your ear, or you get
No,
that
the
sound
speakers are actually at the back. This piece here that goes
Ah, on the
onto your ear.
ends.
and you hear well?
Hear very well. Yes.
Man,
Mike, we need one. We need to get one.
I'm getting ready to tell Emmanuel my birthday. You know what I'm saying? Uh, you don't have to search your gifts again. We covered. We know what we need. Man, that's interesting. Technology is amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It is.
And
It's a
in
nice
particular, this
innovation.
yeah, this AI whole development. Unfortunately, there's a lot of room for mischief,
Yeah.
and there are people who are using it as usual. But I don't know if we can fault progress or halt progress to satisfy those who will do wrong. No,
Yeah.
uh, but we really have to be careful, and we have to. In particular nowadays, you could be speaking to me. I'm seeing your lips move to the words, but it's not you. It's your voice now. Everything is identical, but you don't. So they blurred the lines between reality and fantasy, or I don't.
Artificial, artificial. It would be reality and artificial.
I guess, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. But anyway, congrats, man. Welcome, welcome. Your glasses look good, painted. I'm like, no, can
Well,
you?
I'm reading glasses, I actually
It's,
Oh,
I
it's
was
a
kind
reading
of
glasses.
Yeah, it's prescription. Yeah, so it's my actual glasses.
But I imagine with that technology, then you could just go on clear lens if you have no need for reading glasses and just use it. Can you, is there, or maybe sunshades or something?
Yeah,
Go
it
out,
has transition. It's transition. So when I go to turn into a shield, but it's testing, no?
but you're all, what happens when your phone rings?
It rings in here and then I just tap it and I answer the phone and that's it.
So they want to see you to talk, but they don't really, you don't drive somebody crazy, man, because
Well, only if you're on the Meta, like so you know, Meta is Facebook. What else? Facebook, WhatsApp. I think Instagram. You can do that feature
YouTube,
with.
etc. YouTube too?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think YouTube is owned by Meta. I'm not
Okay.
sure. I'm not a techie guy. I just my daughters they encourage me, and I just follow through. So
So
I'm just
basically,
getting into it.
you stumble on that one, but that
Yeah,
you just introduced me to something there,
yeah.
and I tell you, I see a lot of it, and I want to be involved in some, I indulge in some, but I don't know that all of it. You know what I'm saying? Like I tell you, why I got a problem with driverless cars. I'm
Mhm.
not interested. You know, I'm just not interested. I mean, I think that the heights of laziness, my boy. You can. I enjoy driving. I enjoy see where I going and then look on and see where they go. But I sit down here at the back now, and this car to carry me. I don't know. I'm not ready for that one day.
We
Uh,
have Rod Mock on. Welcome.
Good night, good night.
Good night, Rod Mark.
Night, sir.
Susan Omega,
Good night.
Lennox Lamb, and of course myself, G. Michael Reid. Joe should be on sometime. Did he say he was coming on, Lennox?
Yeah, he said he'll be on. He should
All
be
right,
on.
wonderful. Radmak, you were invited and you accepted gracefully. We want to thank you. Give me a little rundown of what Radmak is about and what you represent.
So I represent Belize as Belizean citizen, and I represent the justice of the people. So I want to see better for my people. So that's what I represent.
All right, you wait a minute now. Radmak, is this Big Tom?
Yes, man.
Man, listen, I'm going to try to get you on, and you say, I see on the interview we had there this evening. Did you go to the consultation for the 13th Amendment?
Sir.
Yeah. All right. What your thoughts in a nutshell? Should they consider it or just throw it away?
What
The
the
13th Amendment, the application.
application should just throw it away because things ain't no work, you know what I mean? More to it we need to do, you know. We all have, yeah, but so we need to create something that we could have organization that represent the people that become important because the government do not understand how to create the stuff that people need in the country for their living.
Unfortunately, they broke up. You guys are here on town good?
In and it's the voice.
Yeah. Try it again, Mark.
Yeah, well, I tell you,
There you go.
Better.
Yeah. That's better.
this what they try to the amendment to the people that's not right. You know what I mean? That's not right because Belizean people don't suffer in a one way already, and then by end of the day, the crime no one stop because the bigger heads they involved in the crime. You understand? So they try to do it only for south side. It look like not for over north side because they live over north side, and these are the people who control the system. So when they are doing it, they're not doing it for pleasing the people. They are doing it for pleasing their own probably cause. You understand?
You have to honestly do admit that there are people out there, law abiding citizens, that are concerned at the level of crime. And in particular, when you hear one, two, three, four shootings in a couple of days, and people are well, like, we don't have to do something about this. What can be done? And how should we address you as Rad, Tom,
Address me as Rad. Address me as Rad because
all right, good.
I
Yeah,
get a
yeah.
lot of attention as Tom. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, but has all right. Tell me something. Has Radmark changed from, because there's no doubt that you were involved in some of the badness out there, correct? Or would I be wrong in saying that?
I can't I can't I used to be a person who used to involve in certain things, you know what I mean? But I mean as
Right.
I grow and I suffer and I punish, couple of years, like 15 years ago, I tried to be a different person, you know what I mean? But me, I fall down to my own situation in life, but I fight it on my own. I fight it with the creator and I fight it with the people who love me. So I try to uplift myself from who I was to who I am now. You understand?
Do you feel that people change? I mean, because there are many people will look and say, boy, a man could say and change, but he not really change. It might just put off on show. In your heart, do you believe that people can change?
Yeah, people can change. People can change, but they have to change on their own time, and we cannot force no one to change. But they have to go through their own phase to know when they need to change. But if we have good role models and good teachers, our children will find themselves at an early age want to change.
What
Uh,
I have a question,
yeah,
G
yeah,
Mike.
yeah.
Rod, what do you think right now would be an appropriate age for early intervention to happen with the youths and Belize?
Oh, early age. Early age mean like 5, 6, 7. You know what I mean? Those early age. Those early age because the children 7 years old find themselves trapped that they not even want to walk down the other side of the other block because they don't recognize that there is a gang. You understand? So when they get 8, 9, 10, 11, they already separate themselves in school by the time they're 11.
Rad, do people actually go out there and recruit members for gangs? And we're talking to you frankly because I know you. I
No,
mean,
no,
there's no indictment of
no.
you.
People don't do that. People don't do that. These kids find the love in these individual where they not find home. You understand? These kids find the love in the individual. What's like a person like me? I was a kid, so I look up to the individual who take care of my little needs that I need at the time. So I kind of worship them. But if they have good intention for me, then I find myself grow more in positivity, you know what I mean? But if they don't have good intention for me, I will find myself grow more negative.
But how do you determine that? Would somebody put a gun in your hand and say, boy, look here, this Balea, the outer order, we need to deal with him? Do things like that occur in that world?
No, no, no occurred in our world. Sometimes the trust does start with friendship. You know,
Mm.
what you do to your friend, your other friend decide to take it up on his own because that's a friendship, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Are you free to walk anywhere in Belize that you want to, or are there certain areas where you basically have to avoid?
Well, I free to walk anywhere in Belize, but I choose to avoid walking areas because human beings are dangerous. It's just like you say, some people you have to notice the change of a person than understand the person saying he changed. You understand? You have to notice the change of the person while he living, going, things he do and things he start manifest to this life for today, you know?
Mr. Rod, I have a question again too that just came up. You said that like 15 years ago you took a different path. What were some of the things that you involve in your daily life that was positive and that you are doing now that is really good?
Well, since I grown as a little child, my mom didn't ever have nothing. So when I go to school, I stopped school when I 11 years old.
I have a question. Would your mom be considered a Creole, a Garifuna? What would your mom be considered?
Good question. Belizean, I don't know what I am.
You
So
mix.
my mom don't know what she are.
Yeah.
Cause your mama, your grandpa, and your granny mix up with different races, and also we all mix with everything.
Yeah, cruel man. Go strong, cruel man.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Lennox, you have done some schooling on behavioral patterns, correct? Am I right? Sociology and whatnot. What was your feel? Lennox, that eyeglass doesn't work. The eyeglass done down.
Hi, Mr. Koye, welcome.
Hey, Joe.
Good night. Good night.
Lennox, they introduce us to, you know what, Lennox,
It's
your
on
mic is
mute.
muted. Your mic is mute, and that might be muting your eyeglass too.
Is it all right? Is it there now? Yeah.
There you go.
It's
There you
good.
go. Yeah. Yeah. You what's your studies? So any area of sociology or something like that?
Who, me?
Yes.
I have a degree in politics and government.
Politics and government. All right. See, kind of same thing, right? Criminality, politics, right, Joe? Yeah.
But they belong to the nobility of politics.
Thank
That
you, Joe.
how you define that? How you for nobility and the plebeian class is that it?
No, I think it comes out of the reality that human beings are noble beings, and whatever they need to come together collectively must be something noble. And politics comes from the meaning of coming together for the benefit of the group. And that was one of the things that Lennox taught me as a scholar in politics.
I see. Radmark, from that point of view, how you look at politics and politicians?
Well, I look at politicians as that's their benefit. Any politician, they start talk the positive talks, but when they get in position, they can't do nothing because the person in charge, they give all of their portfolio, and none of them can really maneuver their portfolio unless they say how to maneuver their portfolio. So we as citizens of this country need to create an organization that represent the people, that government put under condition. Politics is only go from one side to the next side, from decades to decades, and nothing changed.
Interesting. Joe is a former politician, and some might say he's still a politician. So I don't know, Joe. That kind of dim view, Radmark detect there, and I know you. Are you familiar with Radmark, Joe?
No, I am not familiar with him, but I'm familiar with his thinking.
Okay.
In other words, what I think Mr. Mark is probably perceiving is partisan politics, but not politics as a calling. That's different. And I think the famous jurist, as I think I had quoted one time, had called on citizens generally to make the distinction between a profession and the professionals.
Yes, sir.
So therefore, all of our professions, whether law, medicine, cabinet making, drain sweeping, whatever they may be, are all good. Now, if you're the practitioner, misconduct yourself, you behave in a very unethical way, that doesn't make the profession not good.
Yeah.
It's simple, it's not good for the profession because people who do not understand the difference between the goodness of the profession and those who practice it will take it to mean that they are the same thing. That is what many of our young people know. We need to disabuse their minds of politics as being something dirty and corrupt and won't agree. Now, the people we elect is a reflection of us.
So let's be real then, because while there's another side to that, because the politicians then, don't you think, have to be careful to not portray that kind of image there, because at the end of the day, that is what we have been seeing in this country.
Well, let's look at it in a very practical, common sense way. When you have your business and you say, listen, I am the owner or the owners of this business, and I set up a committee to review applicants for jobs. And they review the applicants, they look at the job description, they look at the job profile, and they say, listen, I think this person fits the job. Now, in your personal business, you will make sure that you're appointing people who will be able to carry out the objective of your business. But when you get into partisan politics, we may run the risk, because we are more into partisan politics, that if I'm a PUP, I'm a PUP. If I'm a UDP, I'm a UDP. So it means then that you are not being objective, because the politics should be made up of members of a political party who are advocating for the ideology of that party. So if your party has an ideology, a philosophical anchor, which I think all should have, as in many countries, some lean conservative, some lean liberals. And nothing is wrong with that. But once you are pursuing those ideologies at that philosophical anchor of your movement, then the people make the choice. And they say, listen, I prefer the liberals, the majority. So they go liberal. Or I prefer the conservative. So they go conservative. You must make sure then you follow that philosophy in a very ethical way. So what applies in politics applies in medicine. It applies in garbage collection. It applies in every aspect of life, whether you are a father or a mother of a family. So what happens in politics to politicians as human beings will happen in all human institutions. And I think the time has long come that we begin to differentiate between those who discredit the profession that they seek to pursue and the profession itself. The sophistication of the voters is what could help a robust democracy in our country. And the insurance that we participate after we leave the ballot box. And that will be my advice to this younger generation.
G Mike.
Yeah, man.
And I know the guest very good. I would consider him to be someone I know and I'm close to. So I'm trying to transition the name.
Yeah, got him now?
And I know I'm talking to. He knows me very well, but I know him as a familiar name that I like. So I'm making the transition in my mind.
But Tom, we could deal with you like that, right, Big Tom? I mean, we not got no.
I like the name Big Tom. I like Big Tom.
Well, Big Tom is a famous name, and you know the who, and Joe might now know the who. But Big Tom and this show, for the sake of this show, right? We know that there's stage name and whatnot. But if you don't mind, we might slip and refer to you as that. And I don't say I'm being a problem. Not we're incriminating when we come out of this. You see what I'm saying?
Well, the name Big Tom rings a bell to me as being a man of character and well popular and well known.
He's well known. Yes,
well known.
I don't know if you always say that it was because he like all of us, no? All of us have our own skeletons in the closet. Big Tom has been out there. In fact, I heard his name a lot mentioned in a police circles. So, but I think that for the past couple of years, Big Tom has been laying low, which is a good thing, because Big Tom obviously not have to lay low. The kind of respect where you get out there, he could be raising dust. But you're not a big respect to you for that, Tom, because we certainly don't need more of that out there, no? Big Tom, have you seen a difference in the new gangsters coming up now? Can you identify anything that it seems they're set aside now? Like, for instance, I'll give you a point of view. I think they will not hesitate now to target family members. And you heard you rant a while ago on a posting with that. Do you see that this new generation is a bit even more lawless than during your time?
Well, for me, I say I can't understand where the whole population think. You understand the older folks, most of are the younger ones, because by the end of the day, you take 9 months for a baby born, right? Sometimes some people reach 90 years old and still not understand how to set the concept for the young people to live, because if you are already old, or you will have new vision for new ideas and new minds that develop in these children that will grow with talent, skills and trade, and talent is your evidence. These children will grow with more talent than you are and have more opportunity than you are. So now, while you all have the opportunity to let the access for these people have success, we're not even setting that for them, you know what I mean? We not even try. So first of all, the youth, them are cruel right now. They're different because the mindset different. The mindset different. The criminal mindset different, because the people, like when you have the government, if you listen to the government, they in the house arguing with each other, right? The things they say to each other, what do you think the children go say to each other? If the neighbors are arguing with each other, what the other neighbors gonna do with their rest? They gonna argue too. You understand? So everything start with us. You understand? It's like, say I want to see a difference and a change. You gotta start with me. So if you all want to see a difference and a change, you gotta start with you all. You know what I mean? And I don't have to me suffer and punish because tell my people that we part never suffer and punish in a own way. You understand? I suffer and punish in a different way. Everybody suffer and punish in a way, but how you can say that we country bigger than Jamaica? They have 4 million people. We can't even provide a million because our country, much less the politicians, not even thinking right. You understand? So first of all, it's gonna be wild and cruel because no educators are there, no role model are there.
Was your family PUP or UDP, Tom?
My family, I don't know. They are PUP right now.
Uh,
But one time there was UDP, but they're PUP now. But me, I did PUP. But really and truly, I don't represent no type of government. I never vote yet. In my whole life, I 47 years old. I never did vote yet.
you
So
register for vote?
I registered one time, but I never did vote yet.
Yeah,
Never
yeah.
did vote for no politician. 47 years, you know what I mean? So I see that these people have power for many years before I even grew up. Some of these politicians are still there before I even grew up. They are still in politics right now. You know,
Some of them, their children take over from them.
Yes.
But listen to me, because we know that PUP associated with red, with blue, UDP associated with red.
yeah.
The colors on the street, you got the Crips and the Bloods also
Yeah.
associated with the same red and blue. Is there any connection, and did you maybe sometimes draw towards a political party because of the color that they portray?
Well, the only thing is the ignorance between both of them, you know.
Uh, you think
Only
that is the same thing?
ignorance between both of them.
You 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 feel like that there's no big difference between the two political parties as such?
Well, one educated and one not educated. So that's the difference.
One educated and one not educated?
Yes, the government educated and the gang not educated.
I see what to say. I say, well, then the government when got the education are the bright skills and brain power. That cause there's some boys on the street where you know and I know are themselves quite bright, and then there's some in the political arena where not really displaying no lot of brilliance. I I wouldn't call no name. So, but now, do political parties go out and court the gang members to say like for instance the UDP know that the Reds, the Bloods, then would be more inclined to are attracted to them. Do you think you find that they go out there and maybe attract that and even give them some kind of shelter so that they could go and vote for them?
Well, for instance, a lot of people need opportunity, you know, Mr. Reid. So
Yeah.
have money. So any politician come by and offer people money, they're gonna take it. So no matter what side of the politics, it come one side, the people gonna take the money because there's not a lot of opportunity for the government in charge for make opportunities and make access for these people. You understand? They the one in charge. So if they're not in charge, if they can't stay up to the in chargement or the responsibility, we need to elect the people who have feelings for human, people who have feelings for God, people who have feelings to develop their country so we could grow in humanity because our country is so bigger than Jamaica. Why we can't develop in millions and the government needs to work very hard to provide all these things for the people and the parents need to work hard for their children to get education to these people.
There are two sides to the story that Tom and Joe likes to talk about people participation. Now, of course, the government has to create opportunities and do what they can to make life easy for people. But don't you think that the people also have a responsibility to do their share and to reach out to get the knowledge that necessary to forward themselves in a life?
Well, some of the parents, some of the parents are like, some of the parents need to be educated. some of the parents are failed to educate themselves and fail to be independent, responsible for their own children. So the children grow this responsible, and dependent, not independent.
Tom, Jim, I have a question. Tom,
Yeah, man.
I always try to figure out um, what percentage would you say of the people on the street or gang members really like that lifestyle and want that lifestyle? Have you seen that before? I want,
Maybe that's a handful. Maybe
huh?
a handful. All these things have solution that we could fix it. We choose to don't fix these things. You understand? These things will fix. It's not a lot of these guys are giving problem. It's only a handful. And all of you all know the handful of these people. But some people like it that way. So politics will go the way it going right now.
So let
Now,
me ask you a question. What would you suggest would be a solution for us as a society to deal with that handful where no program, no help, no talking, no help, no reform, no help? What would you suggest that we can do with that group?
well, I suggest first before we pass judge uh, that group, we need to know that all of us are failing. The government failing, parents failing, brothers and sisters are failing, the churches are failing, all of we failing. So we could go out as a village to go save the child. So we cannot destroy some people because we feel like they are the only one who giving problem, because the problem they up higher places, not just down there. No, the problem is in top of the higher places. But we gonna destroy some handful of people who don't have education and knowledge to know how to live among each other because we don't educate them.
You
You
say
know,
there's a social exclusion where they're not being socially included.
a disconnect maybe.
Yeah.
But Tom, let's be real though, because they say there's honor amongst thieves. In other words, that every group has their own honor amongst themselves. But you know that there are some bad man with a real bad man. And they don't got no scruples, no loyalty to nothing. They're just where they could get and will do whatever they want to get that. I see you, and maybe that's why you've been able to break out of that, because you're not that ruthless kind. But they are there. So how we deal with them, Tom? How we deal with them outside of, say, the state emergency and stuff like that?
I only could say that you say yes, I have a past, right? But you don't know
Yeah,
what my past was like. You
correct,
understand? You know what my
correct.
past was like. So I don't know where the future is right now unless I sit down and have conversation with them. Because listen, look here how cool a person or how bad a person, that person have a heart. You understand? And we not find the time because we only communicated nonsense. You understand? We only communicated to destroy each other and don't find a solution. The policeman. The policeman said, Tom, I know you know part bad man go there. I went for all the drugs there. I said, sir, listen to this, sir. My job is not to help you destroy that man, and my job is not to help that man destroy you, sir. My job is to help find a way how we all could live. You understand?
Yeah.
Now, I want tricky situation because listen, we all want to live in a society where we can have things. We're free to go about the business. We can make our little money and enjoy the money. What do we do about people who intent on making this not be? And again, I get to it. I use the term the real bad man, with a bad man, not
Well, I,
not not just bad man in a.
well, I guess I guess Michael G. Reid, you never read Marcus Garvey book, too. We
I
make
have.
run off with the world for we. We are human beings, but we make the run off the world for we because we have this mentality now. You see this mentality as you as an educator and a person who reached a certain type of age, we should have be working hard enough for the people in our country to have knowledge to know how to live. We're not fighting for no one to live. We're only fighting for ourselves to live. That will make we all go wrong. We all go wrong from there till now. Now we have a fight for this back. You understand? To get the minds of the people to wise up their knowledge to understand that life is not about fighting against each other or looking at each other's stuff. You understand? Life is about living. It's about they creating us in an image. God creating us in His image. So when I see you, I see God. If you see me, who you see, God, or you see one individual with a problem.
I
Uh,
would,
Tom, one thing I do, Tom, on this show, I have been very critical on politicians. I think on the last time I was in this show, I suggest that we flag some politicians. That's how I look at it. And I'm saying to you, just as much as all of us have to take some level of responsibility, I'm saying to you, if we appreciate that there is a population within politics that are just corrupted and no good, we have individuals who don't want to help the family, we have bad churches, we have breakdown within. Similarly, I ask you, do we have that within the underworld element that we have to figure out how do we deal with them? Just like we don't want bad politicians, we don't want guys who do not want to reform make continue to do what they're doing. So as a society, we have to figure out how do we effectively keep the bad politicians away from the government first, but we also have to figure out how do we keep the bad elements who, regardless of all the resources, regardless of all the time, talk to them, they just want to do that. My question is, what do we do in that case? Because I have been, you know me, I've been in Belize, I have worked, and that my best friend died, William Dawson, in this fight trying to save people. And we know there's an element that does not want to change. How do we fix that from your perspective?
I could tell you how I could fix it. I know they have a lot of people who want to make differences and change. Sometimes I tell myself like this, why I stay in the neighborhood and talk to you all day to make a difference, and you all don't want to make a difference. Remember, it's only a handful that don't want to make a difference. You all want to make a difference, right?
So what you do with a handful?
Well, you all need to create something which is a body first before we go to that handful. So when we go to that handful with the body that we create, that we're going to show them that we go make people grow in humanity. We're going to provide jobs. We're going to provide franchise. We're going to provide the things then that we need. But we need to educate our teachers, our parents, and all these things we are failing off. You know what I mean? So this is a country job. It's a country job. It's just not those individual job. Right now is the whole country need to get together and find a solution that we need our children to have good life to live. You understand? It's not just one individual, one side, or this right now is a country. The whole country to get together and find out how they could fix this solution so we could grow in humanity. Why our country so big and beautiful, bigger than Jamaica. Jamaica are for their freedom fighter, fight for their mind to be free. For our freedom fighter, fight for us to see politics, not fight for us to be free.
I was following that line of reasoning with Lennox, and it was interesting. But what I got from that was that he's saying that some politicians are decent and some are bad, but now they know that they affect the whole career path by the bad ones. So the good ones try to deal with the bad ones. And in your world, Tom, that you have those who and I'm saying, I'm notwithstanding, I believe that you have come out of that, or you would not be even here talking to us if you were still engaged in that kind of craziness. But what do you do about the bad elements who you know that then it bring pressure upon we? If you do not change at least make your hustling not so vicious and brutal. If you not change that, you know you're bring pressure upon everybody because you got like state of emergency, police brutality, all of that. How do you get across to those in your flock that refuse for walk on better path?
Well, Michael G. Reid, hear this. I've been up and down. I went down to places that people don't want to go. So I take away myself all the way down to a crackhead. So for me, smoking crack while state of emergency happen, I just bust my pipe, no a gun. But I still go to jail, go serve all the time. Now, I said to my brethren, while I was down, I speak in the truth. So while I am up, I still speak in the truth. So the solution for me for 47 years, and you all don't fix nothing for 47 years. When we look in the mirror, say you all a good person, right, Mr. Reid? Say, Mr. Reid, what you think about yourself?
But I
What you
try to
think
be a
about
good
yourself?
person. I try to be a good person.
All
Um,
right. You're trying to be a good person. So when you try to be a good person, you're trying to fix around you to be a better place. So while you fix yourself to be a better person, you fix the place around you to be better. So it take the whole village to fix that. It can't be just one of us. You understand? So the problem, we could fix the problem. We are just blaming the people them who are doing the crime out there because all these people sometimes they go kill for one of the minister, sometimes they go kill for a police, sometimes they go kill for a man who have lot of money. Just because another individual don't do what they do. So we don't know why they causing the killing. Understand? So we have to find out from the bottom of it, get together and let us save these children and save the people them who are involved in this nonsense. If they don't want to be saved, we find a solution to put them up.
can it be done, Tom? Can we save them? Can we make a change?
We can save. Once we save ourselves, we may able to save someone else. But if we not save ourselves yet, we're not able to save somebody else because it's a if antagonize these people instead of we find a solution to fix this for these people, we not finding a solution. We are just finding the way how we're gonna destroy them.
Somebody's saying gang violence is an epidemic in Belize that can't be legislated away. It's indeed, well, I didn't get all right. It indeed is all of our fault. We all need to fix it. I imagine it go along the line that you're going, Tom, that you will take one collective effort for us to get this done. Let me welcome to the show Griga man. What going on, Griga? How you doing?
All right, yeah, how are you? Good
Why
night, everybody. Good night.
Good night,
I,
Baron.
I watch the circus. What they going to UDP people? And tell we done establish that time not PUP no UDP, but we know you the UDP. Where they going with the people, man?
Um, G Mike, in all honesty, I prefer to focus locally on my Dangriga UDP, you know.
So only when stay UDP when stay the party. But which part of the party? Because you got two UDP now, it seems. You got Tracy and you got Shine.
I want to be as diplomatic as possible. It appears to me that Shine is ready for the convention in October, and with the understanding that he will no longer be the party leader. And so, with that said, I just want to see some fresh faces, some fresh ideas come about, and that's where I was. That's how I will answer the question. I would have liked to say, well, I guess we have to, based on the constitution of the party, we have to pick somebody that is elected in the house. And so that at this point, that left the number of people where we could choose from to five.
The five that are in there. Who would be your choice?
Putting up on the spot.
Well, you have given it thought already. I hope.
At this point, Hugo Putt.
Okay. who is the man that's supposed to be next in line, natural succession anyway, right?
Right.
Is Shine gonna still be a member of the party, and do you believe he should be?
I am not sure if he will be. I do believe that that we have definitely we have good sides with Shine, and I would have liked to see what could happen with more experience, and more this whole experience with the divisions should have teach everybody a lot, and I'd have liked to see how he come back from it.
Did you listen to the interview with Mike Lashcraft?
I listened to parts of it already. Yes.
Yeah, because apparently he's suggesting that the UDP should shed some of the dead skin
Right.
that there are. Do you agree with that?
I do. I don't know if I want to call people were gone for 3 elections or less dead skin. So I know Tracy, for example, is on this is her third run at the House. I don't think you could say that she would have been dead skin because there are only 3 elections, one in office and this for the second in opposition. And I feel the same for people like Stein and whatnot. Now, where I see as dead skin are people will lose multiple elections already and still they try stronghold the party.
Yeah. Grega, before you came on, we're going to talk to Big Tom and we deal with the issues out there, not only in the political arena, but on the streets, no? I believe you're familiar with the name. Brad Mark is as in an alias, and I understand, no? We didn't want to make him out him, if you will, as such, but he has agreed that we could deal with him like that.
All right.
What are your thoughts on the 13th Amendment and what is going on now in the government circles?
I would have to follow up more. To be honest with you, over the last few weeks, I have been kind of indisposed. So the details of the 13th Amendment, I am not completely sure of, to be honest. And I don't want to speak without the full knowledge of the topic.
We can have good night, Aaron. We
Good
can
night.
have Big Tom. He's been very vocal about it, and he was also today at the consultation. So I don't know, Big Tom, if you want to give Aaron just a brief of what it is or what it might be able to do, or what's the negative of it.
About the situation today.
But the 13th Amendment,
13th
right?
Amendment.
And today, of course, right?
I think that's something I think not really supposed to work. You know what I mean? I think people need to vote against it and just stand up for the right thing. You know?
Grega, mute your mic, make us say something. Mute your mic. Okay. Then you. Somebody got one nice in the background. Make I say, cause I don't think that me. When he frying, can it be coming from the studio? Okay, stop. All right, yeah, that's much better. Somebody touched something there just now, but yeah, there we go. Start again. Don't worry about it. Listen, Grega, where does the UDP go from here? Is there a possibility they can rebuild? Is there going to be a shake-up? Do you see a light at the end of that tunnel, or is it an oncoming train?
I have to believe that calmer heads will prevail and that we will see a unification at some point. I would have liked to see, honestly, someone that has nothing to do with the outcome. Somebody will not have what gain to get from whichever faction gets the majority of their wants, basically. For step in and kind of mediate. I would have liked to see some of the older retired UDPs and maybe even some of the younger minds, some of the people like Darrell Bradley, become more involved for try mediate this division and see how we could bring unity together. Because as I look at it, it's frustrating as to be somebody who gives so much to the party, and they are sort of take lick as usual, and then nothing they happen to Belize City, you know. So we are down elsewhere, like they try have what standard here or what caretaker for Reid division, Danriga constituency, and then the infighting from Belize City, the trickle down to fighting in of we constituency, and we can't unite no way, and we can't put up a defense against what is currently the issues and us against GOB or whatnot, but we can't support or come up with ideas and actions for help what is going on right now in the communities because we're too busy to fight among ourselves.
As a UDP, how do you see things going for the current government?
I think a lot of misuse and abuse to take place. I think that, and I make a be what Belizean first before a UDP. I say government after government come in, and not everybody, I will never put it on every single member of any government, but you have members of government where take advantage of their position and abuse their power and our resources. And I think that unless we could have real, true constitutional reform, I don't think it matter who they in power.
I guess that's an honest answer because I was going to tell you that for 13 years we had UDP, and those 13 years they basically were squandered. The opportunity was there. They had huge support from the masses, and in fact, to the point where what strikes me as funny is when I remember Yellow Man saying, "People no gonna no come back," and now we're looking at UDP in another position, and they were there with every opportunity to make a difference. What I mean the problem, bro, and what is the problem now?
The problem lies in individuals where if you go into politics with the mindset that you know things going your way no matter what, then you can't succeed. You have to be willing to work with your opposition locally and nationally at all levels, and that's the way I personally believe. If you represent a constituency and you win by 100 votes, for example, that means you got a 50% almost. You need to reach out to that opposition because they get a lot of vote too, so that hopefully you can work together here and for the inside and the people that supported them so that you could truly bring and bridge gaps, build cohesive interactions for every mindset. Anytime a party win, the only for them people get taken care of. And it have to stop, or else we're not build. And I could talk from Dangriga. Dangriga take lick election after election because of that mentality. And I would love to see Belize and Belizeans, as well as Belizean politicians, stop that.
All right. What we want to do, we want to talk to Tom and Lee more because we don't want to keep time for the whole show, but we might and we could get to a few more points for hand, then we'll get back to that whole UDP thing in a while because we want to talk about that some more, right? Joe, you were saying something?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, before I seek your indulgence to exit, I would like to maybe make a comment or say something. They say who survived the storm is best positioned to advise us how to survive a storm. I listened to this gentleman, Radmack,
Mm-hmm.
and I think he was onto something that we should take note of. and if I can encapsulate what he said, and tell me if I'm wrong, Mr. Mapp. I think what you were telling us just now is that this country is going through a leadership crisis right across in politics, in the churches, in the trade unions, in civil society generally. I think I got that impression from you. Am I right? No. I think you have put your hand on something very important. It's a leadership crisis. The gentleman here, Mr. Anderson, is a testament to the failure of a political party. His own party is failing as an opposition. We believe indeed that the UDP, I am a UD, I mean, I'm PUP. I support the principles that define the purpose of it, and I'm not sure whether the PUP is in fact not a veneer of PUP, no, or is it truly living up to the principle that define its purpose. So I do have concerns about the same party I belong to. So if we go across, we see the failures in the trade unions. I listen to the leaders today. They don't have the vision and the foresight to understand how to deal with the problems that is facing us. You go into the churches, you find that the preachers are more just repeating everything from the Bible without giving you the rationale how to live the practical life. And I don't want to spend too long in going into every part of this society, the civil society. But to come back to what this gentleman is saying, who've been to hell and back, I think you hit something there, my brother. We need to begin to address all these different institutions that make this society. And sometimes we can go right back into where we live and do like what Mickey Small said. You want to change the world, you first begin to change yourself. Mr. Mark, I think you went and you changed yourself. So I think that you are a model now to help us now to see what we can do to go back to bring out the rest. Many of us, Mr. Mark, I am telling you from my personal experience, I was down there at the bottom of that ladder and I came out. And many of my friends who came out never did go back to bring out the rest. They are living high off the hog. They are living a very good life. Every one of us who came out should go back to help bring out the rest. Mr. Mac, you go back, my brother, and help bring out the brother. I think you're the person who can help. Mr. Chairman?
That's it.
Well, I want to leave with that to say that I think we need to focus now on solutions. We know the problems, we know the symptoms. I think we need to focus more on what is the solution. What will we do to change things? Because we had enough of the problems. We know them.
Tom, your mic mute. You know that. You want to say something? Yeah. All right. We got you now. Yeah, but I believe I would have to agree that you, Tom, have a role to play, and I hope you play it. I don't want to see you to deal with them young people, because you obviously can talk. You're eloquent. You know where to talk about, because you've been there. You've been in the belly of the beast, and you could then, like they say, when alligator got a river bottom, when fish got a river bottom, tell alligator got in a belly, you believe her, no? So you now been to the bottom of the river. You swim with the alligator and all the fishes and whatnot. You have a lot to offer, man, and I hope you take up the challenge, Tom.
Can I say something to? I like the name Big Tom over Rap Mac, but
Yeah.
I do want to say that uh, within our culture, a lot of young men who might have had your experience doesn't even live past 40, and I think you said you were 47, and I want to just advise you to know that your lived experience is valuable, and I hope that you really do get upfront and vocal and able to advise some of the initiative that the government does try to do, and hold them accountable too. And so I'm definitely going to be following your Facebook page, and I wish you all the best.
All right, thanks.
But Big Tom, we really want to get you on there for a while, because in particular, after I saw you on your live, no, passionate plea for them for tighten up and stop with the craziness, because yes, there are lines, there are always lines, and obviously there were some lines that were crossed over the last couple of months, there are weeks that spurred you to stand up and say something. You said something, you were listened to, you were heard, obviously taken seriously. And I hope that you don't want to stop, man. I want you to keep on the talk and step on out there. Now, I want you to come back some other time and chat with you, right? I'm going to talk some more.
But I don't want, like I said something before, but
Yes, man.
I don't want you all taking to, because by the end of the day, the all that we have to try, you know what I mean? The all our children have to face it. The all that we as human beings have to face it, you know what I mean? And then if we love where we live, we want to make it a better place, you know what I mean? So they have a lot of role models out there in the streets, right? All these guys who are influencer, we need to set opportunity for the influencer so the influencer can help us bring forth the youth them together, you know what I mean? I can't do it by myself. I could influence all of them,
Right.
but they have a lot of influencer like me who we need to stand up beside, side by side, and work with these people so we could get the place right, you know what I mean?
You think there are enough people out there that want to work, that want to step out and make a
Sure,
difference?
sure. They have a lot of people, but some
Yeah.
people just afraid to step out. It's just like, for instance, I want to speak long time, but I afraid to step out on myself because I feel like it's gonna stop a lot of people from the things they are doing. They don't want to stop it. So if I create the vision to see all their mistakes is and the wrong that they are doing, they don't want it. So maybe people want to hurt you, all kind of thing, you know. So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
myself knowing that I can't worry about where people take. They hurt me, you know, cause every day people are dead and then they lose their life. And if I don't start it now, we're gonna lose a lot of people. So it's time to start it now. You understand? So we could save a lot of people.
My brother, you've beaten the odds until to this point because you know yourself how many times it could have been other than what it is. So I believe it was for a purpose. I think you got something to do, man. I hope you're gonna do it. I hope I hear from you more because you got a lot to say, right?
Yes,
So
man.
G Mike,
so yeah,
G
yeah,
Mike,
yeah, Susan.
G Mike, I just got an Facebook Messenger, and the person says he is a Belizean artist. He sings to us about his music.
All right. Yeah, we need to know
So
this
I
because
didn't know that. So yeah,
see, time a lot of people only know Big Tom
I
from
only
the
know the
bad
advocate.
reputation.
Yeah, I only
And,
know
and
the advocate. No.
yeah.
No,
But what you do music also.
yeah, I do music, but I have artists.
Oh.
I'm not an artist. I create artists. Like, for instance, they say Belize have no talent, but Belize have a lot of talent. Cause
Oh
even
Okay,
yes.
so tell us right now. Right now, I'm interested in a lot of artists. So tell me right now, which one of the Belizean artists that's coming up that I should be listening to,
well, I
or
think
the
you should.
people should be listening to? Sorry.
Yeah, well. For my side, I have Unlimited, J Money. You know what I mean? Britney Stars. You know what I mean? I'm Vince the Prince. I'm crossing Nitro. You got a whole lot of people. You know what I mean? But I mean, I don't like name people because I need Belizean people stop to separate themselves and start appreciate themselves. That's why we don't make it in music. Because when I categorize that one over there, the other one catch feelings. We gotta teach our children how to appreciate each
Receive
other
each other.
so we could build, you know what I mean?
But
Yeah.
but Tom, the one natural part of the whole thing. When time you start to rise, they will come after you. But you have to rise anyway. And obviously they promote artists and whatnot. So that big man, I wish you well
Yeah.
in that regard. And that the one positive area then for you to go into and all the energy and whatnot and that talent that you have there you pour into that which are in a positive way and we see a lot when come from it when look how they have big things for you later in the future.
Yes, man,
uh,
it's to share the message. You know, the music is to share the message across the world, you know.
and we want you come back on with us another time when we got when issues come up that we really need one voice of reason and one voice that have experience to deal with that, right? Please.
All right.
We stay in touch. Enough respect. Anybody want to say something to time before you go, Joe?
Night.
No, I just to say to him that when he speak of creating artists, I see artists as part of the making of the soul of a nation.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, that is where I know you are making another big contribution. You are helping to bring back the soul of Belize.
Now, Tom, also, we know we're familiar with artists like Bob Marley, Peter Tosh, Burning Spear. Them boys are all have a message in their music.
That's right.
Are you promoting that kind of thing too?
Yes, man. Yes, man. Positive music.
Yeah.
Step forward. Respect, my brother. Enough love and thanks for joining me. Yeah. All right. I was surprised because when the man tell me he get Rad Mac, I didn't make the connection, but we really want Big Time for a while and hear from him and in particular that this already going out there, no? And we have Mr. High Tech Glasses back with us, but he go, that glasses give trouble and that's where they go, man. Hey, we gotta see the glasses where the man got wearing the talk through the glasses.
The man that hooked me up through messenger with information, so I can't
Okay. That was kind of undercover thing to go on. Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
So spy glasses.
Yeah, man. All right, but we got one little time now for talk about the issue at the Guan. Michael Perfit, he resigned again. Where think?
I could go back to that 13th Amendment.
Yes, man. Please. That a big part of it.
At no point any governmental agency or entity should have just a clear,
Carte blanche.
thank you, carte blanche for just stop anybody, search anybody, anyway, anyhow. That will lead. We live in our society where all kind of factors play a role, from jealousy to envy, all kind of thing, prejudice. And we don't see how much issues we have with the police force toward the public and vice versa. Before anything like this could even possibly be passed, where they could undertake any search at any premise, place, person, whatever, vehicle, I think the one way I say, you have to retrain your officers. We have to stop bringing officers for fill a void, for fill a paycheck. We have to change how we do things, man. Honestly, we just have to change how we do things. I don't think we could give we police force then kind of access to civilians in our work.
Can I ask you this question? All right, I take the point that you don't think that we should allow the police to exercise discretion over a matter that is fundamental to our rights, the Constitution. But don't you think too that you cannot use such a tool to fight crime? To want to institutionalize the state of emergency in your Constitution to fight crime, that doesn't make any sense. That is not the tool you use to fight crime.
No.
So what happened? You have a state of emergency. All right, it lasted 40 days. You begin to round up those who you believe can, are about to, or may have created a crime, and you lock them down. You extend it to 80 days, 90 days, then they come out. What happens? So that is not what you use to fight crime.
No.
So you cannot just use punitive measures and at the same time running the risk of violating many other people's rights. The way to fight that crime is indeed, as when someone said last week, give them a reason to live. You will have to fight crime through getting down to the root cause of it. You cannot deal with your symptoms of an ill person by giving him, for pain, ibuprofen. That is only to relieve the pain while you are working on the cause. So I don't see this 13th Amendment as something that we should ever want to support. It doesn't make sense.
Though the point is that something has to be done. Let's make no mistake that crime exists and some vicious crimes exist. We have to do something, and the first thing people are holler, what the police did about it. Now, I don't speak for the police. I don't speak for the police anymore. But I could tell you that there are a majority of people out there that are law-abiding Not fast with nobody till they fast with them. And even then, sometimes don't. What are we going to do to protect their rights? Because many times what I'm hearing, in particular what I hear from Dickey, is about the rights of the accused. The 13th Amendment, I believe, is harsh. I believe it's a slippery slope that, yes, can open the door to some serious abuse if it's not properly checked. Even the state of emergency, I think that one vicious animal that if we're not careful with that, with the getting again that carte blanche mode of dealing with people how they want without any need for answer for the actions. That is something we have to look for, and for that reason, I oppose the 13th Amendment. Somebody say crime and guns can be handled by other creative ideas. Where are the thinkers? Well, that are the key question. Where are the thinkers? Because we not hear no viable option. What else can we do? What should we do? Because crime is not stopping.
Let me just throw it quickly for Mr. Anderson because I will have to leave shortly. Mr. Anderson, you are involved in politics within the UDP. And I think the UDP now is a part of the problem. Because, yes, they have abdicated their responsibility to this nation as the opposition. The opposition must always be there as a credible alternative to the incumbent. And they have failed. No, I believe indeed you all have an obligation to restore that party to its rightful place within the Constitution. Not that it is named in the Constitution as a political party. It's simple that in democracy, political parties are still what we have. We are not in the post-political state yet. So coming back, you will have to address that problem. Now let's come back to the fighting of crime. I have never heard anywhere in the world where you fight crime through the law enforcement. You fight crime by addressing the cause. And we have to address the cause through that same budget that we have. And I'm going here quickly. If you can spend 125 million on a road to get you to the mountain pine ridge for tourism, which is, again, it's a nice place to go to. Well, why can't we spend some of those kind of money to address some of our problems? And I will speak up with the city. Why can't we get in to the city in the areas where early childhood development is key? Early childhood development is the key to solve these problems. But early childhood development approach must be holistic, because the early childhood development under the IDB focus is up to 5 years. And they are putting now a lot of interest, renewed focus into early childhood development. But it has to be holistic. So to have early childhood development successful, the child has to be living in an appropriate environment. So you have to have families. So we have to create families. And if you could spend 125 million on a road, I'm not suggesting that you may not need to bring in some revenue through tourism. But what is more important is your human capital.
Yeah.
So why, if you could spend only half of that to try to see how you can create families up environment within, I'm talking about the south side, simply I hate to call it that, but that is where they seem to see the seed of the problem. So where are we now? We have to begin to take a stand. One, we cannot afford to allow the 13th Amendment to go through, because we will leave the people to believe that that is what the solution will be when they want. So we will have to now get up and take our position in wherever we are, in a political party, in a civil society, in the trade unions, and take our stand that the 13th Amendment cannot be used to fight crime. And secondly, before I close, we have already the commission to look at the Constitution. So why don't we wait and do the overall amendment and the referendum to know what we want to do with the Constitution? So I strongly oppose the 13th Amendment. I don't think we should support it. It is not the answer to fighting crime.
I agree.
Well, Lennox, where are they? Let's hear from these glasses, man.
You know the work.
You know the work, Rasta. I ain't not mute, you know the work. But carry that back. Get back your money.
The
There you
wrong
go.
glasses.
Well, the wrong glasses. They're not the dark glasses you had on. You had on the C glasses. Hey,
Mr. Koye, Mr. Koye, before we get to the next on, you said about restoring the, I had wrote it down, restoring the UDP. How do you think the UDP would go about doing that?
So for the UDP to get back,
To restore, yeah, you said it would be like a restore party.
you know, when you're dealing with human institutions, and you find that you have such deep controversy in trying to find a solution, I would not want to come forward and tell you, but I think this is what you should do. But I believe that it will not be long from now before they would have exhausted the differences. They will. But the longer they are taking, obviously, the more difficult for those who will want to come back to the party. But I am beginning to see that, you see, once you have exhausted divisiveness, your exhausted, it just cannot go on indefinitely. It will by oneself run out of steam. Now, when you see the Michael Perefit, who went back in as the chairman of the party and then resigned, maybe now we are reaching the bottom. And that's where you may have to reach.
and there's no way to go but up.
You have to come back up. So I think those out in the Dangriga area where Mr. Anderson is, I think you made a statement a while ago as if though you're an isolationist. No, you cannot.
So he was not accessible.
You're a part of the party, wherever you are, whether you are down in Kwekesako or whether you are up in Corozal in one of them village, it's your party.
Yes.
And do not ever show any despair. You speak strongly for it, defend your ideology, defend the philosophical anchor your movement, and have the hope that you know and get back. So don't give up. Come to the city and try and help them.
Thank you. Thank you.
How is the party looking in Dangriga itself? Is the UDP alive down south?
Alive, I wouldn't say it's alive. I would say it's confused as to who truly is the leader of the UDP, and which, even in Dangriga, you have two sets.
Wow. Okay.
And it's creating an issue. And so,
So I see a virus.
yes, it spread throughout the party. And Dangriga, the one of the divisions where and constituencies were pay for it. Just the other day, I was talking, I was commenting on another UDP's post, and reminded quickly by our ex cheerleader, the Dangriga, that we are no longer friends.
Wow. Okay.
And
Who's the standard bearer for Dangriga for the UDP right now?
we don't have one. It should be Namanosha, but we all know what happened. Nomination day there.
What happened? He didn't show up?
He did not show up.
Wow.
So what do you see? Like, do you see like a third party maybe being able to like develop and maybe even overcome the UDP?
I don't think so.
Or a faction within the UDP, maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah.
And then I remember in my first campaign, 1993, when we had the NABR and the UDP having no competition in the constituencies where NABR was, UDP refrained. Speaking at the factions where you just talked about, G Mike, I could see that happening as well as a possible solution. But to be honest, as a diehard UDP fan, a smile, I fed up. It's frustrating. I see more important issues that we should be focusing on as an opposition, and all we get slapped with every day the more A-B division.
But
What happened to the P? What happened to the people? We're supposed to all the this for betterment of Belize, the people of Belize. And right now, I know the feel that from my party. So I have to find a way to continuously engage people at Dangriga. As you know, G Mike, I get attacked hard by one of the people who were challenged for standard bearer. And we got into it on Facebook. That was
he is still planning on doing that.
yes.
I forget what the fella name, but he certainly went out there.
Richard Webster.
Yeah, with knives drawn.
Yeah.
Have you guys reconciled? Have you spoken to him?
I haven't, not yet.
Because we had invited him to the show. Let me say that clear. And you had agreed to debate the man publicly.
Mm-hmm.
He would have to always had to say and all that blah 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 blah. He flatly would not come out and talk to you then. So I see that if you're so sure and convicted in what you are talking about, then you should have no problem standing up and
yeah,
stating your case.
I reached out, I called, I don't get a response yet. And I'm okay with that because right now the bigger focus to me honestly back to school drive.
Yeah.
Rebuilding the tongue pier. And then are things where I actively involved in right now.
Yeah.
So I don't have time for he noise. We got people who need help.
Mute your mic, Joe. Mute your mic.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. That I agree. I want one thing where obviously if I have a robust democracy, you have to have an opposition that can make his voice heard, that have in fact enough respect to say that people will listen when they raise an alarm. No, right now I don't know whether UDP would say that would stir people up or even make them want to sit down and pay attention. They're like, well, can't get ourselves together and expect that condemn the government for anything or suggest that they do anything better than they're doing. You have to first get your house in order.
I need more holy water, man. You got some holy water.
Hey, need more than that. You need the whole priest. You need the father, whole church.
Yeah.
The man.
I do want to say, I do see actually, I'm going to be optimistic here. I do see the UDP actually, if they, strategically get it together, I do see they have an opportunity bringing in new representatives, new members, focusing on possibly getting redistricting done, focusing on even with the public health safety of the crime, even touching on stuff like that, touching on Belizeans being able to afford their daily provisions and pushing for a social cause and stuff. I think the UDP can come and win. It's going to take a lot of work, a lot of time, a lot of resources, a lot of heads, but I think they have a possibility.
I would like to share with Mr. Anderson what I believe is your number one problem within the UDP, because it can happen, and there was a moment when we didn't go on as bad as you all in the PUP. It happened to us in the PUP. When one human institution begin to lose charismatic leaders, it begin to lose a lot of respect. And I knew Tracy for many years. In fact, Tracy to me could Charlie one, but she was sentimentally and emotionally a PUP. She was. No. I don't see when Barrow was a charismatic leader. There was no doubt about that. He could have command respect. Evidently, he brought the party to a point where he became politically and administratively dysfunctional. That's a fact about when they were there. But he could have command respect. Nobody never challenged him. Nobody may challenge SML. Nobody did. Yes, there was some frictions with certain people within the party, Barrow himself, who didn't do favor. But still, they respected him. Your party is going through, like others, a leadership crisis. In other words, which from among you have the charisma to command the respect of all of them? And that is what is affecting you now. We had thought one time that the young upstart, Faber, would have emerged, but he never did be able to create a personality for charisma.
Mm.
So when Barrow
There is
failed
a
to do,
feedback.
Barrow failed to try to create one succession to him. And
Lena,
for what was left there, who you believe? Honestly, no. Who you believe among what you all have there now can show the leadership charisma to get respect for it? All the different. Who you think you have?
hold on 1 second. Think about that for a minute.
All right.
Lennox, yeah, you have to mute it, Lennox, because yeah, thanks. That glass thing not work. But I say, man, buy one, but me, I know the
I
pan that.
changed my mind.
Yeah, me no want that. Have it. We can't hear you. You get that too much. You pick up too much thing, man. I think you pick up your ears, the breed. But go ahead, Grega. Who you say? Who you think might be able to pick up the torch and carry it?
Out of the 5 that's there right now, or UDPs?
I'd say UDPs, Joe. What were you looking for? One of the 5, and in fact, almost by proxy. At the end of the day, I never sit in there as the best 5 to have won, but then I mean, who am I? I'm no UDP as such. But the on a whole, who can unite this? I know you mentioned Darrell Bradley, and I've heard his name called before. I don't know. I'm not so convinced that he could do it. Um, who?
I I would have to stick with Hugo Putt.
Okay.
Why Hugo Pat?
Um, the unknown, to be honest. We know who Honorable Trace is. We know who Honorable Shine is. We know Honorable Faber. We have seen them before. When conflict arises, Hugo Putt this gets quiet. You know, I have not seen him yet ruffle feathers. And I would want to see what would happen if Hugo Putt would be in leadership and have to ruffle some feathers.
You would have to.
Yep.
You would have to. Yeah. Um, I don't think Patrick is honorable anymore. Correct? He lost that title when he
Right, right.
lost his seat. What's
I,
your
I think you're honorable once you serve in at the house. You know, that's why I always call Mr.
Jokovic?
Honorable Koi.
Honorable Mr. Joe Coy, yes.
Always.
I'll take your word for it.
Especially if like when they leave and it wasn't like
They
super
weren't kicked out.
corrupted or like then it goes with them until they die. Yeah.
And when I'm in a school, Mr. Honorable Koi, me in a government.
I was
And
too,
that's how
yeah.
I
I was a
learned
child.
he
Yeah.
was
I
not
used to hear his
Joko, he was
name
Honorable Koi.
on Love FM. On Love FM was where Mr. Koi name was as a child in Belize growing up was where the name was instinct in me from Love FM.
Carla honorable. I know object.
Honorable, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. But by the situation though is dire, and the sad part about it is not only for the UDP, that for the country of Belize, because as they say, unchecked power. Lennox is back and sounding good, man. We're going away though. You take out the glasses and going back to the old mode.
I'm not sure. I think that UDP sabotage me.
Yeah, something happened there. Yeah. You
But
know,
if I can jump in, when I
please.
UDP, I'm going back to the 13th amendment.
Because you have the political
I think we are wasting our times. The UDP issue, Joe and Aaron, is an internal problem. It's not a national issue. What they have is rude, bad, ugly behavior that they're airing in public. And I think the Belizean people spoke in the last election to tell them fix their business. They have major issues and they're just wasting. It's just a theater and a show of how this present group should be no way around governance of a state. So I never even want to have a discussion, but it's grotesque. It's just disappointing that we even have these type of leaders in any key position within our country.
Are you talking about the two potential leaders, the two?
I am telling about the sideshow that organization have allowed to consume their organization, and they're forcing it on the Belizean people to listen to their foolishness.
All right, there are two of them who are holding the post of leader. Is it then a poor reflection on those two individuals that they cannot get the party together?
I am saying to you, it's a poor reflection on the Belizean people to even have allowed the previous leader to even get into our House of Representatives. I think it's disappointing that the Belizean people think it's a joke, think it's okay to have even allowed Shine to get anywhere close to elected office in our country.
Why?
Good question.
Why?
Why? Yes,
Because
why?
we were forced and we were taught and we were encouraged to be law-abiding citizens and that we should maintain a certain decorum, behavior, attitude throughout our lives if we want to lead our country. He has never shown the Belizean people throughout his life why he should lead us.
I don't think you're being fair, Lennox. I don't think you're being fair.
Extremely fair. I had teachers who beat me in a standard 4. I'm being extremely fair. The Belizean society does not and did not and is not should not encourage that type of leadership. That's not a joke.
But you're still not saying. You're still not saying.
And
Go
one
ahead.
second.
Go ahead.
And the Belize, and luckily, he could not amass the numbers to be the leader of our country. He is using every single morsel of energy he has to maintain power. Imagine if we had elected him as a leader and he lost an election. We'd have a Donald Trump anarchy when we try to do transitional power. It's not a joke, guys.
Wait,
We
you know,
really need to take off the camera and get out the way.
But you're saying that with no proof. I mean, what do you have to base that on? He hasn't been there. I listen to him when he speaks. He's eloquent. He's unruffled, and I don't see that. And I've asked many people, what is it that you don't like about Shine?
So let me explain to you. We have practice in Belize. We have had transition of power from government to government. We have had transition of power from leaders of opposition to leaders of opposition once the election is lost.
Mm-hmm.
It's understandable what the UDP is expecting of him. He refuses to allow the natural process to work in our political system. He lost. He no longer is a member of the House of Representatives based by their constitution, and he cannot and should not be the leader. Any honorable, decent, right-minded Belizean would have stepped aside so that democracy can work within the governance of our country, and for the party of which he claims to support, and 90% of my family members are a part of, he would have moved out the way so they can do the rebuilding. Now, if that party decided that they still want him to lead, then you come back in a convention and you do it. But this sideshow shows us clearly what I've said behind closed doors and I've said publicly. He should not be anywhere around elected politics. And that's my position.
Based on the fact that he lost in mess up? Is that
Based
it?
on the fact that he's a tyrant, he's a criminal.
Now we to get to the real core
And it
of
is
your,
the core. He's a
now
criminal.
now we to get to
He
what
has
you say.
He has no history of public service. He has no history of proper leadership. He has in our country. It's not a. We heard Mr. Tom talk about how bad Belize are. We find it cute that anybody can put on a suit, stand up in front of us, forget their history, forget their past, forget.
Lennox. Donald Trump has 34 convictions.
That's not my country. I'm talking about my country. I'm a Belizean. I don't want to hear what he do.
Yeah, but
you support Donald Trump.
Listen to me. His country is 249 years old. They have money. They have wealth. They have an old democracy that can buffer and recover from him.
You forget me and you a friend for Facebook long time?
Ah.
Huh?
You forget me and you a friend for Facebook long time?
We are you a friend forever. We are friends for
So the man say he know some of your convictions.
I know you support Trump.
Huh?
The criminal.
What happened to you?
You support Trump.
The criminal.
I am a Belizean citizen. I do not support any American candidate. Would never do that. Would never engage in political activity in America.
No. But we're not to say you got to that point when I put you in jail for try vote. But you had your opinion, and I tell you what, I personally thought that Trump was the better of two evils. I tell you that, there's no shame in my game.
G-Mike, you have been getting it wrong for a long time. That's all right.
I've been getting it wrong
for a long time.
You have to name a few. You have to name a few of the issues. I mean, not deflect on that. You really become political for me now. Now they get like politician. Yeah, no.
I'd like to come in here, Mr. Chairman. I want to make a comment on your commentary. When I listened to the documentary of Shine, I thought it was excellent. I thought he did well. But when I look at the contrast of his behavior in the arena of politics, I think his ego has not allowed him to be able to win the support of his people.
Can you give us an example? Can you?
All right. The example to me was simple when he could not vindicate himself at the poll. He lost. That to me is telling you that of the three of them that ran, the person who went in to be the spoiler turned out to be the winner. And he won. And then the PUP came second and Shine came third. So what I'm saying to you, I think as a farmer, listening to his documentary, I think he did well. I must give him credit. But he just didn't have the kind of personality for the field of politics. And I think it's because the ego overcome him. Because he did well in the documentary. I give the man kudos for that documentary.
Joe.
But the polls show that the people in that division where he won before, imagine you win that division at a time when the party went down. You win the division with your uncle that's so secured. So when you could have come now and lose it, it is telling you it just cannot relate to the people.
But there are a lot of factors there that you have to consider, Joe.
Yes.
In fact, his own party was against him. They were working against him diligently, and I don't think that that loss is a reflection of what he is and what he was standing for. I think there's more to it than that.
Definitely.
G Mike and
Any
Joe,
law,
G
let
Mike
me
and
use an
Joe.
election as an example. Every election, if the margin is one, maybe one issue could cause you to lose the election. If the plurality is 300, then it could be the cumulative effect of many factors. So when you have a margin of defeat to that extent, then it is in fact the cumulative effect of many factors. But when you lose with one or two votes, you could get away and say, well, one issue. But when you are losing with those margins in a division that you had won so big, why is it you are falling from going so far? It's simply because you were not able to convince the people. In other words, they gave you a chance. You won. When you win an election, you cannot sit back on your laurels. You have to continue to earn that honorable. You must earn it. It's not just you win the elections and you can walk away and say, I got it. No. You have to be earning it. And another thing, who was earning it?
Joe, the
I think you might be right, Lennox.
the reasons for election, guys, is giving the average people a chance to speak.
That's right.
And the average person in Mesopotamia said, we do not want you to lead. Now, the legacy of that man is in his music. Look at his history. His history is in his music. It tells who he is, who he was, what he was. Is that the type of leadership that we want?
You're not making a strong argument, though.
For you? For you?
I
But
well, I mean to talk. I mean to talk. So yeah, for me. But I don't think the argument that you're making is strong. You're not showing me a good enough reason to say that this man is not should not be anywhere near the political arena. I'm saying when you start out in being a criminal, I don't think that's fair because he's not a criminal. He went and paid for his whatever he did. It wasn't like he went to jail for stealing or for any kind of creative. He went into standing up for his friend, no? And in
I
fact,
mean,
he came
G
out
Mike,
late.
G Mike,
Uh-huh.
G Mike, we
Yeah.
have had great leaders who spend time in prison, but they never spend time, they spend time in prison as freedom fighters, fighting for a cause, fighting for their nation, fighting for their country. Progressive democracies do not elect leaders who shoot up a nightclub. Stop playing with our democracy, my friend.
I do want to chime in. I do want to chime in here. I don't really know Mr. Shinebarrow personally, but I definitely we know that it was nepotism when he did come into the country and was basically ushered into that position due to his father at the time, I think, being prime minister. One of my disappointment with Mr. Barrow recently has been his support for the 13th Amendment. I was a little bit caught off at that support for that because I was thinking him being a Garifuna Creole man and had so much social barriers growing up with a single mom living in the United States and all these things, I think he would have been more aware or conscious of some of the social problems that Belize, especially the area that he represents, face and would have more of a stronger initiative to fight crime. But instead, I think he vocalized his support for the 13th Amendment. Also, too, I want to mention too that I think that with Mr. Shine Barrow's status, even just say as a celebrity or as a leader, a political leader, I think he could have influenced more people around him, new faces, of course, and maybe even someone with lived experience with poverty. He could have elevated them and have them be more of an ally and aid to him, or put them in the position, give someone else that opportunity. And I think he had the opportunity to do that, but he wasn't so focused on helping much people to get to that position around him. And I think that's what
Was he ever in a position to do that you're suggesting he should have done? He's
I
never really.
I think if he, for example, I believe if he had came and he sent five of his constituency to just to send them to UB, send five of these people in Mississippi to UB, and just give them an associate's degree or a bachelor's degree. I think right now in this time and the time that he spent in Belize, they would have already been graduated and they would have been able to really organize and keep it together. But I think a lot of people wasn't equipped and and the support that he builds around him wasn't efficient, and it could have been done.
I want to chime in too.
Yes.
I do know Shine personally. I sit down with Shine many times and talk politics. What I believe Lennox said that our protected version of life. People get in a trouble. Things happen in a people's life where Lennox basically is saying that if you do one bad deed, you have no comeback to come back. And I don't believe that. I believe everybody deserves a second chance. Shine Barrow has a history that he, with the right implementation, can work with people like Big Tom, whom we had on the show earlier, and really make a change. And when UDP had convention to choose between Tracy and Shine, as G Mike might know, because G Mike and me to follow each other from way back when, I was Team Shine. And the reason I was Team Shine, that not because my pa and Fahim pa used to work together. That nothing for doing nothing like that. That because I wanted to see what first timer and what the potential is. I had conversations about how we could develop women, make women independent, how we could help with poverty alleviation, and real deep conversations. And I think then there are conversations where we need to have on a daily basis. When we talk about reform, everything I talked to Shine about was some sort of reform. We talk about the 13th Amendment right now, and Honorable Coy says that the 13th Amendment is not the solution. It's not. What I believe is part of the solution is we have to fix our criminal justice system first before we could hold people accountable legally and have them serve justice. All of that we have to look on from a
Bigger picture.
Yeah, from the top, and just look at everything. We have to be willing to accept with flaws. We have to be open to our opportunities of improvement. And we can't catch feelings every time somebody jab way and say, hey, you mess up here. This is how you might could try something different. We have to be more open to solutions.
Can I comment? I don't want to come back to Shine. Because as you're talking about him, I believe that I may maybe need to come to know him more. And the reason why is that when I watched that documentary on him, I saw the brilliance in him. I saw a person with vision. I saw him as an articulate person. I saw him as a person who I believe would have cultivated charisma. And I listened to him in the house when he speaks. And I must give him credit. Because I have seen him being able to stand up against 25 others in that house. And when he speaks, on a topic he speaks intelligently. He speaks off the cuff. So I will give you the good side that I saw of him. No, I will not condemn him for what happened with him because I did not see that as something for him to be condemned for life for. He did it, he paid his time. But to me, that is not enough to do that. So I still want to understand. Somewhat is maybe like an enigma to me. I can't understand how a person with all this potential that I saw in him, what caused him to have lost that leadership, to have lost that election. And maybe you all who closer to him can better explain it. But I saw a lot of, I mean, I am impressed with him in that house when he speaks. I'm
Yeah.
impressed with his documentary. I'm impressed with the conversations.
This is what I have been saying, Joe, and I'll tell you why it can be he could have lost. Now, a herd mentality. People will turn on a dime for sometimes no reason other than the fact that they run with the herd. That the politically correct thing to do is to hate Shine Barrow, so they hate Shine Barrow. I am not gonna stand up and try to defend Shine Barrow, but like you, I have been impressed. I have spoken to him. We had him on this show one time, if you remember.
That's right.
He's cool under pressure. He answers as opposed to Tracy, who I think gets flustered easily. And it
Yeah.
has nothing to do with her being a woman, because you could say, oh, we want a woman there. We need a woman. We have to get more employment for women. I don't see that as a good qualification for a person in a leadership position. Sorry, I got a mosquito with it. Bite me constantly and I had to try catch him. No, I'm saying that I am not willing to hold against him the fact that he went to jail or any of that. Adam may want to say get one better chance. He did not get a good chance and he was condemned just based on the fact that everybody else to condemn him, and that the most of where I hear, oh, he's too arrogant. Well, I want confidence in a leader. I don't want a wuss. I mean, we've seen some of those. I don't know. I have not been able to put my finger on it either. How he lost all that support, except to see that people just decided we don't want to like Shine, and that the popular thing to do is to not like Shine. So we just jump on the bandwagon now. Unfortunately.
If I were to make a choice as a voter based on what I knew of him, I think I would have voted for him. In the sense that I am not voting partisan, no?
Right.
And because of what I come to see of him and know of him, I was impressed with him. His performance in the house, I have always given a lot of credit.
Yeah.
So I, like you, maybe Mr. Chairman, would like to understand. And I want to say this before we go off. That day I was out there, I passed. And I spoke to Lima personally before the elections. And I did ask him. I said, why are you going to enter? He said, well, why my job is to stop him.
Yeah.
That's what he said to me. I said, but do you think that's the right thing to do? He said, well, it's not only to stop him. I believe I could win too. Now, when you look at that results of about what? It's not like 1,200 people voted.
Yeah.
Very small. He got like 600 and odd. The opposition got, I think, about 400 and odd, something like that. And I think something on that. And then Shine at the bottom at 300 and odd.
Mhm.
Though I couldn't imagine that could have been such a plurality. So if you add the PUP with the UDP, you are talking about 900 and odd votes, which are almost triple what Shine got. So I cannot really reconcile not knowing enough. How come you are lost like that, given the man performance that I have seen?
Well,
something
remember that the PUP, that the UDP beat him. That not the PUP beat
That's
him.
right. That's the point.
That the UDP, they split the vote
That's
between he and Lemark and gave Lemark the lion's share.
That's right.
That's why. Now
I agree
again,
with
the narrative was out there, prevalent. Everybody is like, we have to stop him, and the same thing Lemark told you is what everybody was saying. We have to stop him. Now, what I did not hear was a good reason why we ought to stop him. That are pure emotion.
Dictator and
Yeah.
criminal. That's all everybody said. And that's why Aaron Anderson will still say he not Team Shine. Because I believe there is a future for Shine in Belizean politics and Belizean betterment.
Well, he's a head and shoulder above a lot of the others, some that are in there right now. So I believe that if given an opportunity,
Yep.
and held to the right standards, Shine would not be too bad.
She might. I want to mention something that I had observed, and this is small, but I do want to observe it. Is every time I had seen Shine on the media or even in Parliament, um, the other party would um, make him to be like a little black boy. They even call him boy, or talk to him as though he's
Less than.
Duncy, or yes, less than. And that was not because it was Shine, or because he was black, but I see sometimes some of those things happening in Belize, and it happens so blatantly and open and just carry on normally. And I'm hoping that whosoever Afro Belizean do run for politics, that some of that behavior is not happening as much as what I experienced and I saw them doing to him. And of course, I saw him handling it gracefully too, but it was happening left, right, and center. And I was just like, this is a grown man. Why are they talking to him like that? So,
I don't know. That the whole melanin factor. I think that are poor criteria
I don't think that was
for
an.
leadership.
No,
So
I don't want to be sounding as if though now I am joining the UDP. So be careful. I don't want to be coming out.
Oh, you sound like that long time. Aaron, sign him up. Sign him up, Aaron.
But let me say something. Out of this discussion, you will be shocked to understand now. Let's look back 5-10 minutes ago
mm-hmm.
when we were looking for somebody who you think could rise to the top. And you begin to now take Pure Pat, take Tracy, take Shine, take Faber. Let's say the 5 of them. I personally would think that out of that 5, I think Shine has the greatest qualities.
I take Shine.
Now, maybe perhaps he need to be groomed now to be more humble, to avoid him coming over as the person who is arrogant and high-handed. Maybe he should try to do everything to work with the Constitution, work by the rules, and try to bring people together and go to the polls, go to the National Party Council. Maybe he can vindicate himself, because there is no doubt about it. There is not one of them who would be able to debate him.
I don't know if can he be party leader now, Aaron? He can't be party leader because he lost the seat, right?
Yeah.
Right.
But should he run again and is able to win,
Mhm.
he can then vie for that position,
Mr.
right?
Chairman, we had the example in our own party, and the UDP had that before. To remember when they had to bring in the wife and Dangraga, we need Dr.
Aranda?
Yeah, where a party leader lose, George Price lost. But what happened? He can remain leader of the party, but he can't be in the house, so he can't be leader in there.
Mhm.
So the truth about it, with the UDP, there was a time I think, when the leader couldn't be there because he didn't win. So to me, the party constitution does not allow for a person other than an representative to be the parliamentary leader.
But he can be the party leader.
That's right. He could go to a national party council meeting and win the leadership for the party, but he can't be the leader within the parliament.
Lennox is back just in time to say bye, but we make us say more than that, Lennox. I've got more for say.
Touch on the 13th Amendment quickly, G. Mike. Just
Right.
I want to answer you, but what you had to say about Shine?
I know the 13th. I don't want to be distracted. This kind of
All night, I know I got more conversations about that.
for the 13th Amendment, guys. Understand? This come out. We have to understand why they wanted to do this. This came out of 2 opposing judgments from the court based on the state of emergency.
Right.
I think it's very premature that the government of Belize will touch the Constitution before the final court of the country speaks. Have the matter go to the CCJ and let the highest court in the country make a decision on the 2 different rulings.
Well, you have to appeal both of them, right?
Exactly. And have the court make a final decision. So what
Are they appealing both of them?
I don't know what they're doing. G-Mac, what they're doing is preempting the final court of the land from speaking.
Yeah. That aspect of it, you're absolutely right. The aspect of it not right. That
But we
they
don't.
do it so that you can't sue nobody because I know farmer.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, let's forget this swing. Let's go say there is issues. Let the final court speak. Let the final court says this is unconstitutional or constitutional. Then they go. Then they can go from there. That's one. Two, and I'm going to touch this very carefully, guys. We had two very young, in the sense of time in Belize, judges that made ruling that can affect or will affect our Belizean society. I am not comfortable with two non-Belizean doing that, and it triggers what is going on here. I don't know if we were in their if judges from Belize were in their jurisdiction, we would have even gone this far. That's the next issue.
Mm.
And lastly, guys, you see, we have to be very careful when you bring in people from outside our jurisdiction within our jurisdiction and put them on the law making seats in our country that will make decisions that will impact our lives for the rest of our lives. We don't have that liberty to go to people's country and do that. That's two. Three, we are a young democracy. And me and Joe have always spoken about, I think me and G-Mac spoke about this. I am very hesitant for us to be touching our constitution at 43 without even fully exercising our constitution. Our leaders have not shown me or the majority to be even tinkering with that wonderful piece of document. So we have to be very careful, even with this constitutional amendment. I mean, this constitutional awareness discussion about touching my constitution. I am not into that. Let our democracy grow. Let our democracy work out their kinks with the courts and the legal system. But don't be touching nobody touches their constitution within its first 50 years. We
Well,
have
here
we
we
sorry, and
here
I'm
the,
done. Mike. We have touched our constitution too much in the last 50 years.
well, we only got 13 amendments. I don't know.
Only 13.
Mr. Chairman, don't make a mistake. We only got 12.
12. Yeah.
12.
Then
That's
they
a
tried
lot.
the
The
13.
chairman want to pass it. 13
They only
already.
passed the
You see?
13.
The chairman
That,
pass the
No.
13.
my boy, when you got 26, 25 to what? 6 in at the house, that passed. But the thing is that I am not I don't know, Lennox. You're saying a lot there. The, the Constitution, first of all, what percentage of Belizeans even know the Constitution or has even read it? Something like 2%
I agree.
even knows what the Constitution is saying. So I don't know that, first of all, we have to find out what the Constitution, teach it in the schools. I don't see where there aren't civic classes in school to teach the Constitution. First of all, we need to know what we have before we know whether we want to change it or not.
I agree.
So that's the most important part about that to me. As far as the 13th Amendment now, and first of all, what we need to understand is I think they're setting up specific areas where they can call a state of emergency out of the blue, basically. I don't know if they're saying they're going to have a state of emergency type of situation all the time. Now, I really don't even know if they're targeting evenly the crime as such, because one big part of crime is corruption, and we're not even looking at that. We're looking at the basic underground bad boy kind of crime where they happen, but there's some big boy kind of crime that happen that I think also needs to get some attention. No.
Agree.
You know, one of the things we need to take note of, Mr. Chairman, and ladies and gentlemen, And I saw it happening in the US with their constitution. When you look at that proposal, and it talks about the need where there is serious and extensive threat to public order, and you look through it, where does it try to define? And that's what happened in the courts in America with that same issue. Where did it attempt to define what is indeed serious and extensive threats to public order? Those discretions cannot be left to no human institution without the law strives to flesh it out. There lies another danger. So to me, leave that constitution alone for now. Let us deal now with the reform that we want to do for the constitution. It is too dangerous to use it now to fight a crime where the decision will be left without the law itself spelling it out. Dangerous.
You know, I also have a major problem with the two judges going on the same law. They're looking at the same laws now. Whether they came from abroad or not, Lennox, I think is kind of irrelevant, because sometimes you need to bring people in that are not familiar with everybody on the ground to be able to get a better decision. But the fact is that two different judges now looking at the same law, dealing with the same type of a case and incident, came up with two totally different decisions. I'm saying something wrong with the law or something wrong with these judges. But
I think, Mr. Chairman, if you allow me to, I have gone through that thoroughly.
Mhm.
And the same problem we are facing is because when the judge has a decision to make and a legislation that is a bit vague, it doesn't spell out enough, then you could have two different opinions by two learned judges.
So the interpretation.
That's right. So what do you call serious and extensive threat to public order? You might see it as if though by the crimes being committed by these supposedly gangs are sufficient. But another judge can say, no, you don't need that to fight that.
But Joe, can I share with you guys something? Have you guys ever gone to court on Friday when they do bail hearing?
I haven't.
2 times.
All right. It is, Joe, we have that every Friday. Bail hearing is about giving people their liberty or taking their liberty. We have opposing ruling every Friday. G might come off, I go to jail. Aaron come off, the young lady go to jail. So so why haven't they thought about touching the Constitution as relate to people getting bail or not getting bail? So this is not a new thing where judges have conflicting views. We have it go and see it every Friday on the same law.
See, and this is why, if I may, when one of them times when they try to fix your song, you logged off, and I said that I personally believe that what needs to be addressed is how our justice system works, justice reform. Because without that, any legislation we put in place will be up to human interpretation. And generally, law is exactly that. Day one, of my first law class, they tell me law is the manipulation of the English language. And they tell me make sure I don't turn alcoholic. That are the two things they tell me the first day, first class. Anyway.
But I don't know. But are laws open to interpretation, or are they set in stone?
The precedent comes from interpretation, but usually when you hit the Supreme Court level, you have not one opinion, but you take a few legal justices and you get one majority decision.
One findings.
Which, but getting up to that point requires money, of course. So the poor man no got that kind of leverage there. He went on a first opinion open to interpretation and he gone.
Right.
He can't appeal nothing. So
one of the weaknesses from my 10 years there, but it's more than 10, it's 30 years, was that whenever we make these laws, and when they are not sufficiently specific, and the legislators did not come over clearly with the intent, it is when then it leaves too much discretion to the judges determining what was it that they intended. And we had laws like that, why indeed that one judge can make an opinion and another judge gives another, because sometimes the law was not sufficiently clear in the intention of the legislature.
You're right, Joe. You have to, Joe, you're right. And what mature societies have done is, because they understand the human error with judges, you have to box them in a box. That's why they give them sentencing and ruling guidelines, because the legislators know that Aaron might get up tomorrow morning drunker than the other day and go outside the way he's supposed to go. So you're right, Joe, the legislators have to box them in a box. Let them go as wide as the box that the elected people want them to go, but don't give them these free rein.
But let me just come in one more time, and I like this topic. You know why? When you look at the Supreme Court in America right now, we are all biased, whether we are lawyers or doctors or judges. If I am one liberal and you don't want conservative, your bias will tend to influence your decision as a judge. So when you look at those conservatives, where the Republicans they appoint, they are all leaning towards conservative thinking. And the ones that were appointed by the liberals are leaning towards liberal thinking, but they are in the minority. So the risk in America, like it is in any part when it comes to the separation of powers, that judge system needs to be careful because there are biases at the highest level.
Are they innocent biases or are they deliberate biases? Do they really know? Do you think that they know they're wrong, or do they believe they're wrong and just proceed from that point?
No, I think a biased person will always be innocent. Never let me be one witness against my mother in a courtroom.
Yeah, well, but that you're not saying the same thing, because you'll be
You'll
biased deliberately.
All human beings are biased. Everyone, none of us are without bias.
Yeah, but somehow
in the case as my mother to accentuate that bias.
Yeah, but that's a different thing, though, Joe. Because but naturally we believe a certain thing, like maybe the upbringing, the environment that we come out from. Let us believe that one thing is right as opposed to the other. Because at the end of the day, we want to be right, but there are some who promote certain agendas based not upon whether it's right or wrong, but benefits to themselves or their own.
That corruption.
That
bias.
That's different. That's corruption. We didn't talk about the corruption. We didn't talk about that judge who is acting within his ethical standards, using his technical competence to interpret a piece of legislation. And he can be quite honest and innocent in that decision because of the inherent bias in human beings.
Right.
And when the law is not sufficiently specific, it bleeps the room whole. And it's not that he's corrupt. It's not that he's dishonest. It's simple that he's seeing it from the perspective coming out of the inner sanctum of him.
But we must then be very, very careful to ensure that the laws are not vague, that they're specific in what they're saying.
That's right.
And that's the challenge, no? Guys, listen, we're out of time. We're way over time.
Yeah.
Interesting show indeed. And I was taken by surprise by Big Tom's appearance. And I looked, but when the man said we got Rad Mac, it didn't have a click, right? So, and I really I appreciate him coming on. I want to say thanks. And to all of you guys, again, thanks Gria for jumping in. Susan, as always, for being there. Lennox, we don't see you enough, man. You got to come in more. But fine-tune our glasses before you.
Look at the police, Joe, and allow me some certain time. So I can't.
All right, see what we done here. Nice guys.
You could have never disrupt Jaja plan. You ever say? And you could never underestimate the heart of a champion. Do you remember when you treat me like a pig inside a pen? Now we don't blow up like Big Ben. You don't remember back then? No, you don't remember when you holla say me and you no friend. But how you have a dime feeling? No, you don't remember back then. then. Now things get bright up, me notice you and your friend. And they show up, they talk about how you know me fan dress up. You have no idea how we grew up, food early the morning. We swim up on the way back down Coconut. Get hooks up, pipe water left in the sun. Forget warm up, then we get fresh up, green and white done up. Pants and shirt get starched up, use the lard pan. They get fuel up, itals too, and seaweed up. Low sexy gal, sweet like syrup. System corrupt, half it up. Where we do, just to come up, you know say the man pocket off the fat up. We can't afford for the lump up. Out of the barrel we they climb up. For the dollar catch we have, then they line up. While you know the sleep dollar just get piled up. Stay on the grind, sun down to sun up. Do you remember when you treat me like a pig inside a pen? Now we don't blow up like Big Ben. You don't remember back then? No, you don't remember when you holla say me and you no friend. But how you don't have a dime feeling? No, you don't remember back then. I am the stone the builder refuse, like Isaac I stand accused. The one then girl